So are you giving them, are you helping them to not only, because there's two sides to that, they have to internally, for their own company, figure out how they're going to do that, and then they have to take the next step, and that is explain to their customers what they're doing and why it's better for the customers. So I guess the first question is, why is it better for the customers?
Well, especially in today's environment, you've got significant capital restrictions and maybe a tighter leash on leasing opportunities for hardware. So it just depends on the customer. But at the same time, I think that we're starting to see customers really, because of the emergence of the cloud and software as a service, finally starting to really consider the fact that, I really don't need to own this here for somebody to be able to take care of me, be able to get the solutions that I need. And maybe we should consider something other than this. But at the same time, you're going to have both. So even in a scenario where, you have a customer that wants site-specific solutions, there's always the ability to take and do a secondary site or a data backup solution and be able to transition that customer slowly in their minds, to be able to do it off-site, show them how it works from a disaster recovery standpoint in the cloud, and then as they get comfortable and see how that turns up, they may be able to transition eventually to a full-time
I think
solution.
one of the really strange thing is that almost every one of us is doing things in the cloud right now, but we don't think of it that way. And nor should, as an end user, nor should they be thinking about it that way. They should be really looking at it, and the way it should be being sold out there is, here's a way that we can lower your costs and increase the level of service that we give you. And and it really is.
To me, the ultimate value is in this, especially within our architecture, is the ability for so many more redundancies and so much better ease of deployment, and from a management standpoint, to be able to sit at your desk and log into a system and not have to go on site to manage servers and desktops. And to me, how can you not want to do this from a management and overhead standpoint?
Yeah, but everybody puts too much emphasis on that because nobody cares if they lose their database. Can you imagine that poor VAR who says to somebody, so their largest customer comes into them and says, hey, let's move to the cloud, and that VAR says, to himself, he says, I really don't understand what the value is and blah, 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 and who's going to own the customer and how much is it going to cost me, where am I going to, and he really hasn't done his homework properly, and he says no. And 2 weeks later, that largest customer goes down, or worse, loses all their data. That's the end of that customer. And not only that customer, but he'll make sure he tells the whole world about how terrible they are. It's too bad that we can't just instantly turn on a switch that says to the channel, hey, guys, yesterday you weren't doing this. Now, as of, September 1st, everybody in the industry has to be on this because that's the standard, the norm. And if you're not there, get out of our industry. We're taking away your one worldwide thing, but we can't. So it becomes...
It's an education process.
It's a huge...
An end customer and a managed services standpoint. We're all learning. It's an industry in transition. It's happening quick. Customers will delay and it will take time, but I liken it to the voice over IP business. It was this interesting thing that was around for a while and a few people kicked the tires, but now you're starting to see massive organizations from very high level headcounts and government entities moving to these systems, and you better get behind it now before it kind of runs you over, I guess.
Yeah, I look at managed services, they're going to become a commodity. The cloud services, they're going to become a commodity. In the short term, a VAR that gets on board, they can pick up a lot of customers. Now, they're not going to keep them if that's all they do. They have to offer the service and the support and be on site, and they have to, it's never going to be a perfect system. If it was, it wouldn't be right for the VAR, but it's never ever going to be that way because of the multiple manufacturers and the different offerings, and not only that, once they're on there, then they can start putting the apps that they want for their own customers on there, and they can, it just makes, they can now customize proper business solutions at the SMB level. We've never been able to do that with technology. We talked about it, we said we were, but it was BS. Sorry, bad. It wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Do you need me to say it now so we feel better about it?
So, with that being said,
No,
it's just,
I think to your point though, the ability to deliver multiple solutions, and add value to the end customer, in our mind, we have the simplification is where the value is. Within our infrastructure, we have solution providers every day that are building templates on our infrastructure. So our customers can pick and choose from a catalog of options depending on what verticals they're in or what type of solution they want to provide. And the ease of deployment for that is a right click and turning on a virtual machine and entering a license key depending on the solution. Yeah, everything's moving to the cloud, but that relationship with the customer is still going to need to be there. You can't just ship your data off to the cloud and trust that it's going to be taken care of. You still want to be able to talk to somebody and be able to take advice from somebody. That's never going to go away.
but here's the interesting thing about it. If you become the old-fashioned, forget about MSPs for now, we're a traditional VAR. Okay, you went out there and they thought of you as a trusted business advisor, but only for adding hardware, maybe software, but they didn't think of you as a trusted business advisor when it came to their business, just to their technology. This gives a VAR the opportunity to form a real, true business relationship with their customers, because now all of a sudden they're saying, if they're doing it right, in my opinion is, there's some applications that you're not using that we can put on really cheap. We can try them out. If they're not working, get rid of them. We're not going to say that we're perfect every time, but we can sure tell you that here are things that we should try out for you. Let's see if they work. If they don't work, we'll find you other ones. But the point being is that we can either help you decrease your costs or increase your revenues or make your employees more productive. But either in one way, shape, or form, instead of us being a cost center, which is what a VAR is now, a necessary cost center, but a cost center, now all of a sudden they can say, we can really help you make your business more profitable. And I mean, if they've already got that relationship as being that IT guy that knows it, and they can go in there and show them that, now they've got a customer for life. And instead, what I'm hearing is, well, if I go into the cloud, who's going to own the relationship? Well, gee whiz, are you going to go try? Do you think you're going to be able to build an infrastructure that could go on site and do this with all these different SMBs? There's 11 million of them. Nothing personal, but if Microsoft can't do it themselves, how do you think you could? So, before I end this, I want to make one last comment. And I've done this for quite a few of these today. But the fact is, if you're not an MSP, if you're not offering MSP services, if you're not taking your customers into the cloud, then here's what you're doing. You're making it so that you cannot offer your customers as good a service as other people are going to be able to. You're making it more expensive for them. And at the same time, you're making it so that you're not going to make as much money. And more importantly, you're not going to have any free time. At some point in your life, don't you want to have some free time? Because, hey, just think about it. You could be sitting on a beach and there's a problem that comes in and you can fix it in a minute by, in many cases, the power might need just to be turned off and back on. Who knows? But you can fix it. I don't understand why every VAR isn't doing it.
I don't want to interrupt, but if I could add, it's amazing that all of our salespeople, we talk to managed service providers every day, and their time is so critical because they're on site continually. And the fact that we can't have conversations because they're on site over and over and over is a testament to there's got to be a better way of doing this. And why can't we deliver a service that we can sit at our desk and really not have to visit many folks other than keeping that relationship strong?
I'd really love to talk to you, but I don't have enough time to speak to you for 5 minutes so you can show me how I could save hundreds of hours. Sorry. Hey, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.